So, dear friends, we have just seen the documentary Man with a Family Greenlandic Adventure. So, this is a film by scriptwriter and photographer Mikael Strand, and now we have a unique possibility to talk to the filmmaker. So, Mikael, please, if you can see us, give us a sign.
Yeah, I can see you.
Da.
Hello there, I'm Michael.
Yes, thank you so much for your interesting work. I think not only me, but also all our viewers on the internet, they really enjoyed watching it. And when you got the idea for making this film, what was your main task as a director? What was your main objective as a director and as a scriptwriter?
Well, the idea was, of course, this was a family who wanted to find a new place to live, maybe for their whole life. And when you set out to do a documentary or a film, you don't always know what it will be. And in this case, everything that happened, obviously, was nothing I had planned for. And though today, 2.5 years later, I am very happy that the whole family, that we had the chance to go through all this and everything that happened. And honestly, without these dramatic moments, I don't think I would have had a film. So, that's how life is. You never know. And that's documentary film too. So the idea I gave before I left was nothing what the film turned into.
So you just follow the life flow, so to say. You were not programming the result of your film, so to say. You were just going with the flow, so to say.
Yes, I have never ever planned any filming, though I do have the camera with me almost 24 hours a day. And by having this camera with me 24 hours a day was also part of what created all the problems that the family had. It is very hard to always have a camera there as quick as something happens. So the camera in itself caused a lot of friction, but I've always done that with my films. I just move out, see what happens, and I record everything and try to follow up on the leads. This is what's happening, and the story has it's strange. Even if you don't have a story before, it will be there. It's just up to you as a filmmaker and director to follow the flow, as you call it, and just keep going. And that's what I did. And that's what I've always done and will continue to do. I don't ask people to behave in a certain way or anything. I just film, I'm just there. I want it to be realistic. This is the truth, nothing else.
Because, but if you are filming some kind of something, a part of something, and you see that there is a need for your participation as a person, like not as a film director. For example, if somebody needs your help or something, what would you do? Would you kind of stop this? Would you continue like observing, or will you just go and help someone? What will be your choice?
Oh, this is such a difficult question. Well, the situation was also like this. I did say when I came to Katsiangwit that I was there as a filmmaker. And if people had something they wanted to talk with me to, come to the house and we'll talk about it. And what happens was that quite a few members of the village came to me to talk about, mainly about a life that they found very complicated and difficult. And they asked me for some kind of help in some way, if I at least could film their situation and put it in the film so the world could see this is the situation they live under. And unfortunately, the situation in many isolated Arctic villages, well, any isolated villages, wherever it is in the world, it's hard living. And so many of the people who came to me to talk to me, they had very harsh, hard tales of reality. And it was so hard, so after 2 or 3 months, I felt really low, I felt sad, very sad, and I was wondering what to do. And I also had a fear that me as a middle-aged white guy would come in again in some part of the world and say, this is how people live, this is how it is, and so on. And I felt a lot of fear of that. It would be just another white director coming here telling his side of what he sees life to be, which many times is completely wrong. Fortunately, due to the drama that happened in the family, we became part of the society of these problems. So I am very happy that I was able to tell our story, not somebody else's story who it would take years for me to understand, maybe a lifetime. So therefore, I only touch these people who made a difference to me in the village and how they live and think. And these people who ask me for help, I think if the situation for somebody is extremely difficult, they hardly survive. I'm a human being first of all, and I'm a filmmaker second. And I will always carry that with me. Life is short. I'm not here to make a statement that I'm a better human being than anybody else. But I think at the end of the day, we are human beings. We are not products of our jobs. And if people are in need, I will put them first.
Yes, Miguel, and a couple of questions more. Today's situation with the pandemic and with the coronavirus, you as an artist, how do you see it? As it's quite difficult, it has probably influenced your, like director's plans. So how do you feel as a filmmaker in this historical moment?
Well, I have to say I'm fortunate to live in Sweden, and the model that we are running here, it doesn't make a big difference compared to before. The Swedes in general, they have never been warm people. So, you go to a bus stop today and queue up, there's no different now from before. We've always kept a distance. People are very much for distance, corona or not. So that has been quite easy. And I also decided I'm not going to let COVID-19 become put me in prison, not to be able to do anything. So what I've done since the corona started is that I've taken my daughters that you see in the film here, and we're starting cycling. Our goal is to go to Katanga in northern Siberia. And I hope that we've cycled 1,204 kilometers of 11,000. So we are actually heading for Russia now, slowly, when they don't go to school. So this situation have forced me to start working, do it properly, understand that life is short. You know, I don't want to sit on this chair and just wait for it to end. So I'm proactive. I do things. Obviously, having said that, you know, I hate this situation. I don't like to be trapped like this, not being able to travel to other countries. And so of course it's difficult, but there's so many other people in a more difficult situation than mine. And do I see anything positive with it? Not really. I think we have to wait and see what happens, if there will be any changes. All I see is a lot of people around me in the same business as me who are suffering a lot, and I find that difficult. So obviously it's a complicated situation, but I'm doing as good as I can, and I am still working with new films, and that's why I'm heading to Katanga.
И последний такой вопрос.
Yes.
Вот,
And the last question. Your film, it was seen by the audience of Third International Film Festival Northern here at the Green Screen. Do you have anything to say to the audience, to the viewers?
Well, I've been extremely honored being part of it, and I'm really sorry I missed the first part here because my daughter with the eye problem, she had a second operation yesterday, which was very successful. And I've been so much under stress, so I actually fell asleep when it started. I'm really embarrassed. But I'm honored to be here, and I love these questions I've just been giving, and I feel really bad that we couldn't all meet in person. But at least this is better than nothing. So I'm very happy to having participated in this exclusive festival. Thank you very much.
ну, а мы благодарим вас, Микаэль, за
Thank you so much, Mikael, for participation in our festival, not only with your work, but also with good answers to our questions. And as a reminder,